Want to see some strange stuff? It's February 1st, 2019. Weirdly in the morning, about 12:30 a.m. I went to go cook some eggs, and I'd cooked some of the eggs, like 3 or 4 of them, weeks ago. They've been in the fridge for probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe a little longer. Best used if by February, so it might have even been a little bit longer than that. I thought I got sick from the eggs. I wasn't sure, so I held on to them. Shouldn't secondary guess that, but I wasn't massively sick to a point. But in a sense, yeah, I didn't get like to a point I was actually throwing up. But then again, I really did. I just didn't do it. But not getting into sicko stuff. I'm in here cooking eggs. I was like, I'll cook them differently instead of frying or, you know, whatever which way. I'm gonna put them in water or a sauce type of mix, like maybe egg drop situation. So I'm pulling eggs out, cracking them. Come across this one. Come on, I picked the right package with the perfectly deformed egg. That's how I get it. It's way deformed. The whole package has oval eggs like that. The other egg is like mass deformality. I was like, huh. So, bad thing is I would admit to being as dumb as to eat the eggs that are in the pot right now. That's cracked in the water, boiled like almost like I guess egg drop soup, and to come out see if the outcome. It's not a complete. I won't say it isn't, but it is nauseating, but not completely to the point of eruption nauseating. It probably could progress into that, and I'm kind of cutting it back, but the other stuff is like foul body odor, a must, a lot of different situations with it, not just the nauseation of it. Um, a real foul odor coming from the body, like it causes a secretion of some type of oil or something in the body that alterates and creates a foul odor. Real nasty, musty, foul odor. Now, with that being said, it is a probability that they can spike, which utilizes techniques from law enforcement that are allowed to actually what I call spike, contaminate food and people's food to utilize as a tool to induce a certain amount of disorientation to gather evidence. But you would think that situation would end after even a couple of years. You shouldn't even be doing it for more, probably 6 months. And for what I'm going to say, I know for a fact somebody's been trying to get me in trouble for many years. So with that being said, them inducing the same stuff. It's not. It's not them utilizing any type of lawfulization. I was a targeted individual prior to this with situations happening, and other law enforcement has gotten in trouble to a point, but it's never been fully processed. I mean, there's been ticks and tacks here of prosecutions or written up or whatnot, but not a whole full-blown system prosecuted. I figured after so many times of reporting the situation, even though there was corruption blocking the stuff, that it could actually work. And it didn't. The same authoritative system trying to basically say I have no rights in America, which is understood. Hey, you're the authority. If that's what I got, that's what I got. But I don't need you trying to utilize psychological assault and tell me that I'm not psychologically capable with you, compatible or anything else, especially when you're creating the disorientation intentionally. But there's eggs that do come out cockeyed, very occasional. It's kind of crazy that I've gotten sick quite a few different times off of getting eggs, especially if they know I'm going after them. I go after things in the store and they're already gone off the shelf when I get there. Make a list in the house, and how about half, if not the whole list, maybe 2 items off of a list of 20 items are all missing, gone off the shelf, disappeared, not in the store. Specialty item, something that just came across the TV, sponsored at the store itself, or something like that, or in an app, like the local store, grocery store app. Just got these in, new item, new product. Go to the store, have it checked in the app, and just on written down, no matter which what. And go to the store, and the item's not there completely at all. Even if the shelf isn't empty, it's not on the shelf at all. items that you go in and that you enjoyed, and somebody understands you enjoyed it. Next thing you know, you go back in, it's not there on the shelf any longer. Contamination of items, the quality of those items, be it candy, be it food, be it even shampoo, doesn't have to be edibles. Lesser quality or alterated. And then being blamed off they got a right to do it, which I have found out, to a point. Not even just found out, but read into they have a right lawfully for criminal fucking, excuse the lingo, profiling. But they only have like a statute of limitations to do that shit with. While they're in here assaulting with it. Basically utilizing that authoritative access, but then misconductfully using it. Basically. They may have had the right in a certain predicament, but not any longer. I don't even want to discuss that too far, because people will go erratic, possibly, of trying to understand how I understood, or how I read that, or how I'm keeping my mind state of understanding the threats that's been made by law enforcement, country, and authority. Exposure, buddy. You expose that, I'll expose your this. If you expose us, you're going to go under arrest then. We're going to lock you up. If you do this, if you talk about it, you're in more trouble. If you talk about it, we're going to turn up our devices, which I'm being electronically alterated for, at the least, interfered with bodily, whatnot, and I'll end up proving that in the long run. I want to expose it. I don't care how it's there. I don't care what the criminal charge, what they're accusing, what society's utilizing. I've already been told it wouldn't matter. They've already crossed the line by not reporting the device in the first place. There's medical problems that I've had, which it induces intentionally, and I understand they induce and can induce some medical problems. Why don't I want to turn myself in? Would you think me sitting with counselors, state agents, county agents, police, everything else, and they just outright tell you, you got nothing for us to turn yourself into? Do you have any problems? This is the problem that I would think that was a part of the situation. Well, we can't help you because you can't admit to it. There's nothing in our paperwork or in reports or anything else of a crime happening as such. Alright. And I've been also told of like warrants and whatnot. We won't tell you if you have warrants or not, so you don't flee the crime or flee the situation. That's cool. I mean, I can understand in a situation with that, but at the same time, some of it wasn't cool and misrepresented. But anyways, eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and get into that. Not too long. Just want to produce it in this bag. It's another, like, I won't say salmonella. It's something that's stigmated in my mind of them saying salmonella, even though it causes some type of nauseating but bodily dysfunction sicknesses, mucus type of situation. I don't know how to explain it, but no matter what, adding a word, it may, instead of calling it salmonella, let's call it, it's like E. coli. It's something, so they're dubbing the wrong attribute to something that is legit. And they who, either walking on the streets, hearing it out of thin air, they've been utilizing LRAD type of situations, micro voicing, and all kinds of shit. People's like, yeah, prove it. I will. I've been in public and other people's been hit by it. I've been on subway trains and the people jumped another gentleman because he was utilizing an electronic device that hit them after they was wondering what the hell he was doing with it, basically kind of pointing at me. They kind of got, after watching him, his body postures, communications, whatnot, that he's aiming this fucking device at me, even though most people wouldn't catch it to a point. Like he's trying to stand there like it's just a natural stance while he's beaming me with this damn device that's causing a high-pitched tone. Beep. And then voices on top. I mean, if he can cause the tone and nobody else can hear it because it's in a direct beam in a situation like LRAD, I guess. And I'll go ahead and look further into it. I have the information on it, and is possible to do so now. You could be screaming at a person in front of you and nobody else around them would hear it. Put it that way. You could be making tones, voices, sounds, whatever goes in through the microphone can be produced at the targeted individual, or the target. What we'll do is target. But yeah, they jumped the guy, so it isn't like, you got proof. If you stick around me and it's happening, I'll flag it. I'll throw my hand up, or I'll do something. I've done it in New York, just naturally out in public, allowing people to understand, hey, there's something wrong. I want something done about it. And not everyone, but there's quite a few different people that would step up and be like, if they was around daily, same places I was at, daily, they'd be there daily, and after so long, it'll add up. Especially when those people come in and tell you, I've seen you come in, when you came in, these people followed you. The situation wasn't happening here until you showed up, but it's not like a blame situation. You showed up, they showed up with you. This is not normal. Even some of the community actions of them trying to enforce community regulations, that's not normal of our community. It's abnormal. Trying to basically brainwash and force what they want, structuralize their systematical situation. And that is even without me knowingly, for 100%, not me not knowingly, me know for 100% that it's an attack rather than legal prosecution, legal attributes. I have assumptions, I have a list, I haven't been able to compile that and to profile the people, and when I do go profile, they've been smart enough to duck the radars. It's no different than ducking a radar or taking items off a shelf. When you got a 20 item list, you go to the store and only 2 of those items are on the shelf. Especially when it's stocking hour and everything's full. Nah. Doesn't work. While they run their mouth eavesdropping of stuff from inside the house, externally, publicly. I could be drinking from a blue cup and they'd go around and talk about the blue cup. I could switch that blue cup out to a red cup and they'd be like, you're drinking from a red cup today, or whatever it be. It's something direct. Something is so harsh. Exposing. On multiple of different situations. Intelligence, learning from the computer, news stories, books that I've read, trying to intellectually challenge my abilities of understanding what I read. How will I go get help? There's a multitude of things I can get into. They've even went to the extent of, on top, stealing the books that I had for self-help on rape and on system social works, and threatening me that I will not go tell on nothing. That's gangland shit. That's also still group stalking, organized. It gets into because there are corrupt police involved. There's corrupt government people involved. There's people that was involved with what was legal matters and stepped over the line, which alleviates those legal matters because they participated in criminal matters. That's how that works. With high security, senator, mayoral, communal stuff. Anyways, I'm just going to end this video. It was a little blast off and an odd shaped egg. Now, that can be psychiatrically looked at as paranoia. I blew stuff out of proportion. It just gave me an ability to talk. To produce what I'm doing and set it out. Even though, more than likely, it's a marker of oddball. If it doesn't make you feel good, don't eat it. Well, I just spent the last of my money on these eggs, per se. Knowingly I'm going to starve. Can't help yourself. Can't help yourself. Can't help yourself. Huh. And the police don't pick up on that, but you can pick up on me, profile, harass me, belittle me for being unstable, for being not right, being this, being... How did you profile and even take the step forward of progressing to obnoxiously, verbally, socially, or anything else, harass and assault me? Verbally and make a judgment against me. Curiosity will kill the cat. Gonna end up pressing stop on this video. I say that in all my videos. I say that, and I also repeat this, especially if I'm gonna post it to the internet, for the fact of electronic jamming. And that is videos ending themselves while I was recording. That way I know when the probability of jamming actually happened. Now lately on this camera, I won't even say lately, for the most part, the videos haven't stopped themselves. They have, there's been a couple of corruptions over the last couple, after making major complaint on it. Still interfered. One of them was 100% on the website targetofunlawfulacts.com, which this will probably basically be posted to a YouTube library playback. But that video fixed itself, and I found out Microsoft OneDrive will fix videos without, I won't say without permission, but if you don't watch your permissions, and it may even be without permission, will fix corrupted videos the best that it can. It'll repair it. If it finds a problem, that problem was evidence. It was stored on their drive. I may still have that video, but I don't think so, because I relied on Microsoft OneDrive. But I do believe if I pull that video and pull up Google Drive, double backup, and hope the heck the original file can be restored to figure out. I know for 100% because they was just outright, one, next to the police department, right here locally in Columbus, Ohio, right off of Town and Bell Street, and they was just running their mouths. On top of social life, like a female trying to pit me down like I will never have nothing for myself in life. Not a love life, not any type of relation. Their people's better. And doing the boyfriend-girlfriend thing of socialism. Like I'm interfering with them being sitting at a park bench or a bicycle trail bench while they run their mouth off of a bridge that is from here to per se a local corner. And feet-wise, I'd have to say maybe 200 feet. I'll even go measure it because you can see now the video's fixed. You can see the shadow of individuals and the spacing between us. And hopefully you can pick up, and it wasn't dubbed over completely of everything, but there's stuff that was dubbed over, and OneDrive, I think, clipped some of the video because it was just bad. So it made it look more fluent or some shit. It still fixed the video. The thumbnail pic on the webpage, that's what the video had picked up. Some of it was video, then it turned into that colorated, depixelated stuff. Never happened except for when they was also the enforcement. You'd have to also physically be there to understand they was intentionally mumbling shit that the camera didn't pick up. I'd need more high-tech equipment, at which point I was taught that in New York City with another investigator investigating mafioso stuff and other corrupt crimes, that they was targeting another individual, and they had high-tech equipment that picks up a lot more better audio than what I got with the regular cell phone. But anyways, while somebody's ridiculing me, that's just too much. Really? Well, if it's too much for you to listen to, then don't listen to it. It's none of your damn business going down the street. Quit trying to analyze and force psychology against me. I've had a lot of weight that way, but not jumping off the topic. The situation, you'll see the individuals at the minimum there in the video on the website. You'll also see the thumbnail. That's what pixelated, about right when those people showed up. They thought I had, and I think somebody figured out and has hacked the system, figured out that I did not have a full visual, just basically maybe a makeout of a female, males, whatnot being there, and some of the verbalization. I've had files that has been dubbed over. I've had files that's been completely alterated. I've had files that's been completely stolen, deleted, gone, against my own will. I've had stuff where it's 15 gigabytes worth of shit, and that is like 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Literally video after video, days of videos being made. Me talking of different stories just outright vanish. Some of it was, and actually I know exactly that situation, it was evidence against somebody else trying to socially sabotage me that was toxic relationships with myself, helping out those other ones that are eavesdropping in the same house that I'm in right now. And they deleted, it was what is the undercover detectives that lived next door that identified themselves supposedly as law enforcement utilizing this part of the equipment that's going on. It's hard to explain because they're all basically socially gangbanging, socially grouping and stalking, socially thrilling themselves with it while trying to make it portrayed that it's legal enforcement, which this has been going on for so many years. I know for a part-tenth of that, it's not the truth because they've been busted elsewhere. And some of it wasn't me calling in. Somebody else, a perfectly good stranger to law enforcement, just outright be like, what the frick's going on here? While they're, we buddy, and nah, I ain't your fucking friend either, dude. That was one of the bestest moments that you can get. But anyways, not to explain my emotional feelings with that. And excuse the lingo again. But, yeah. They're in here utilizing, all this bullshit with that, person. And that person's also on video, which I will not, unprotect. It's protected, of stealing, and was told they're participating and orchestrating, the assaults against me in this house. When there's other people here. Was then forced to steal my personal diary, which is a diary. Oh, you're a man, you don't need a diary. That's feminist, that's gay, what bitch? Being talked down to, even though It was just shit smack because the gay stuff, they're all homosexual, and that's one thing I haven't included in this video. All homosexual related bullshit, and has been found out just as that. I'm not doing it derogatorily, I'm not doing it assaultfully, literally. You would just have to be here, you'd have to, or talk to the people that understand. Well, you got 9 out of the 10 people, if not literally 10 out of the 10, per se 10 people messing with you, and they're all gay. Or they're all homosexual or related, transgender, bisexual, homosexual, no matter what. Jumping, basically mentally jumping, socially jumping. Utilizing me as a systematical jump place to help themselves out. But yeah, you'll have this other person that's in this house stealing that diary. I had it on film. I was recording with a private camera. Intentionally, part of that, I'm going to have to say they intentionally knew the camera was running. They know all of the shit that I got on me electronically, any type of eavesdropping devices. If I try to get a spy pen, weirdo, no, being talked to like a mental retard. You're not allowed to do that. You ain't proving us, haha. Or else, hey, you can go ahead and try. One, we already know it's on you. We know when it's on. We know this. We can steal the stuff. You know what'll happen to you. Threat. Anyways, the diary was still taken, even though if it is or isn't, I have more belief that it was already understood the camera was rolling and basically spat into my face that I'd even take you on, challenge you with evidence. What you gonna do about it? I was stuck in a rock and a hard place and didn't go to the police for the fact that it's so hard because there's also other people related to these people that work in law enforcement, so they have an upper hand. They definitely have a connection that even they've tried to get me in trouble before, and I exposed that, and then somebody else put the pieces together for a minimal amount of time and put some protection for myself, not just here in Columbus, Ohio, but externally. It's a long story, can't explain all my life story in a video over eggs, but let's just get into that. The situation being foul, not good. I'm definitely not good health-wise. I've been trying to see a doctor. I don't have nobody to go to a doctor. Sometimes they require people to go with you. Trying to get assigned a person to go with me, not to get off stories. What happens with that is these people interfere with it. They do have access and authority somewhere. It's corruption. But I also understand a network of psychology, whatnot, and hey, we'll tell you still what to do. Bunch of other states, everywhere that I've been, is pointed back here to Columbus, Ohio. Not only as a systematical shit, but systematical corruption and mob-styled bullshit. These people create loopholes for people who want to commit crime. I will not blame directly per se mob, whatever mob it be. And even without pitting that into the viewpoint, those who want to portray mob, start their own or portray that they are just to get the feeling and thrill out of it. These people are creating the loopholes that allow these people to assault with. But I'm going to end this video, and that was a lot of rambling. Target of unlawfulacts.com. Same thing as the YouTube channel, but .com right after it. Should be. Not search it on the internet. It's not a great page. I'm not there to produce or promote it. It's there for me to post some of not just my videos, information I come along with, whatever I think might, trigger off a little bit of information for somebody else. But it's also potentially, basically, not just for myself, but for me to go back over top of things that I want to say that is important. And some of that content's protected, and that's because I don't want it viewed. It's personal, me actually sitting there. I felt embarrassed not to post it, or it's an embarrassing moment to the point that, not being disgusting, but no shirt on inside the house type of situation. Didn't want bad vibes going through that. On top, you don't want to see a fat guy walking around to a point, or a disproportionate person. Not to get into health problems, that some of that fat is probable gut problems somehow, which has occurred all of a sudden around me. With many different people, as if somebody's contaminated us, like I'm talking about being contaminated to the point it caused gut problems. This is water purifier. You attach it to your sink and you screw it in. We have PVC pipes, or I have PVC pipes here. That's obnoxiously completely wrong. There's also rust and dirt in that. I've already put my finger in it. That was just taken off today. Water pipe busted yesterday, but not to get in life situations, even though I said I was going to end this video. But that's the type of, contaminants? Easy calcium buildup. But fudge. It wasn't, as far as I know, it wasn't that bad before. I've had other purifiers on there and unscrewed them. I've even checked those screens just to make sure to see if anything has been intentionally on those screens. That is what that is there. That is extreme, severe. Never that amount, never rust or anything else, but never that amount of white shit being in that filter. I'm not sure what it could be as calcium or whatever it be built up, or what is it. I'm going to have the water tested and have somebody come out after I change the plumbing here in 2 days. I already had a test kit, but everything is getting contaminated. You don't mess with us, boy. Really? It's time for me to just go ahead again and stand grounds. More people I have on my side questioning the situation, more than likely the less will happen to me. Anyways, I'm going to end this video, and that's that. Exposure. And some of that stuff, if you'd like to come with me or me come to you to a point without offering or being unsafe, I guarantee, and that's the reason why people are afraid of me, I don't have friends to a point, and it was expressively explained by perfectly good strangers. I wouldn't want to have the problems that just followed him here. But it's understood somebody got to care for something. Some of them still stood there, but some of them also scattered after so long of, oops, they're in here, they're massive. Police should have already gotten a hold of that before things got out of hand. Because there's also police involved. And it's just, it gets into the mess that it's too hard to explain of what's going on. Because it would take days, weeks, and years to know somebody to explain that situation. But at least to be able to sit there to listen, it'd take a minute. A different conversation than just having conversation. A lot of rambling again over one. I wouldn't have done just because it's a disproportionate egg and be like, oh my god, look, they're poisoning me. That's because I already said I felt sick. Even the dog. I fed the dog. I had 2 eggs. Dog had like 2 eggs. Dog got sick. Not pukous nausea, but dizzy, like stumbling. Like maybe salmonella or vertigo, or it caused some type of deal. And on top, the dog started to stink too. So, I am going to still eat. And this has happened before, and it has happened before, and it's happened before. You can't tell when it's going to happen. And when it does happen, though, it, one, flashes back the memories from the last time. The bullshit that they tried to play around with, that you stink. Well, yeah, because you created that stench. How do you clean that up? But I'll get into all that stuff later. I probably won't feed the dog the eggs. That's how bad it is. I'll do it myself. That way the dog don't have to suffer. Even though, you shouldn't feed dog eggs, it'll make them, not the stench that I'm talking about. It came out bodily odor, not just gas or anything to get in disgusting. Literally glands just filling with like pus, or I don't know what it is. It's a musty, nasty smell. And on top, it does, to a point, gum up or clam up, and the body makes you feel kind of clammy. And then once again, they keep talking salmonella. Well, how the hell are you going to talk salmonella? Even though I was also told that's not it. You would notice it. Trying to make basically a representation. It is something and we know it. But we're going to make you feel all goofy because psychiatrically or notability that you don't know what you're talking about. So you're in there accusing the wrong things yourself. Haha. Oh well, I don't give a damn. It's related to something. So, I don't care if I said, look, the eggs had AIDS in them. May not be the proper technical understanding, but means there's something freaking wrong. If it ain't just the eggs, the water, no matter what it is, I may not be 100% technical. Not that I should, to a point, completely have to be, but should take it first, a discretion that, hey, without it being paranoia, craziness, or me overexerting something, there's a problem. Especially when it happens multitudes of times and you have evidence of somebody running their mouth or into windows or whatever it be picked up on. Bad vibes. Somebody trying to create bad vibes as if there is something going on. How can other places bust the situation while these people act? That's not normal. It doesn't work that way. We're all human. We all live by this code, and you're violating it. Bullshit. It's the same type of, I forgot how it's explained, but technically explained elsewhere by law enforcement, basically segregating or completely, what do you call it, ostracizing another person, but socially. Not just a single person doing it, as a social cultive, I can't say cultive, it was just some type of grouping situation. Anyways, ending this video, peace, and I'll be back. I'm tired of the rambling, so I am going to put some of this stuff together, write it down, make the story out, produce it, allow people to see it, hear it, understand it. I posted on some other people's videos about the same similarities we're having, and a direct contact that I've had myself with the person that was partaking in stalking, or if they don't call it stalking, and some of it, I understood the reason why they was doing it. Would I side with them for doing it? I can't say. I won't say right now because it's a hard discussion. It's not influenceable. Hey, if I get my way in the door with you, then I'll agree to anything. It would have to be discussed and understood which way it would be agreed individually, person to person. But what was called COINTEL, I do believe. And them people talking about how they started in the 1970s doing the stuff and taught me or showed me certain situations back in 2000, 2001 era. If not a little bit before then. Well, 2000 for sure, and maybe the end of 1999 and the beginning of 2001. Anyways, I'll end this video, and that's that. Peace.